What's up, BFM? This is Big Tone coming at you from Bigtoneproductions, Beats and Feast. We're going to do a recipe today that I probably would normally mess up, and I have before in a conventional oven or maybe in a slow cooker, but we're going to do a pork loin today. We're going to do a pork loin a little different. It's going to be my kind of a spin on it. We're going to do a apricot and apple marinated pork loin. But before we even get started with the video, you know how we get down. So I need you to go below. I need you to like the video, comment, and subscribe. And I also need you to share it. Sharing it is definitely the way that the video starts to get popular and it starts to get more viewers. Also, you can always hashtag Beats and Feasts, okay? But anyway, we're gonna get started here with a apricot and apple marinated pork loin. All right, so now that we've already taken care of business, let's get started with the recipe, okay? So as you can see, I have my marinated pork loin here. Now, in this marinade, I did this overnight. So in this marinade, we have a few different things in here. And some of it is in the recipe, some of it I put in here, but I'll put it all in the recipe for you. So we got ginger, we got garlic, soy sauce, honey, lemongrass, apple, apricot jelly. It's a little sweeter than just apricot, so I use the jelly. And then I put water and hoisin sauce. So it's got a little Asian mix to it, but it's got all of that in there. I marinated overnight. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna sear this up, okay? So simply just getting it brown on the outside, and that's basically just searing in all the juices. So once it gets in the pressure cooker, you know, it releases those juices. All I'm going to be using as a little bit of oil in the pan is pure vegetable oil. And I'm going to be using my buddy Copper Chef Pro here and the hot plate of the Copper Chef induction heat countertop cooker here. And give me a second, let me heat this up and I'll be right back. I got my pork loin here and I got my Copper Chef Pro here. And I put the oil in it. Now I've got this on sear mode. So in sear mode, this little induction heat, it actually runs at 500 degrees and it sears at that temperature. So I'm basically gonna put in my pork loin here, and it's really, really tender. Just sucked up all this marinade. So I'm gonna put it in here. You probably hear it. You hear that? That's what we needed to hear. So I got a lot of marinade here left, okay? We're gonna use that in the power pressure cooker. But we're gonna sear this off. It takes usually about maybe 3 to 5 minutes per side. And then at that point, we're gonna put it in a pressure cooker. But in the meantime, I'm gonna let this sear off here. I'm gonna try to do this, okay? I'm gonna let this sear off a little bit. I'm gonna move this bowl from our site. All right, so I'm gonna let that sear off, but I'm gonna go ahead and chop up some onion here because that's gonna go in the pressure cooker. It's just a little aromatic, okay? And when I chop this up, I'm gonna leave it in big chunks because in the pressure cooker, everything just disintegrates. It's under pressure. So we're gonna leave it in pretty large chunks here, okay? Let me get the other part. All right, so we're going to throw this in the bottom of the pressure cooker, all right? And really, these are just for the flavoring. These will cook down to the point where you won't even know that there was onion in it, but you'll definitely taste it. The other thing that I have here is I had some celery. Kind of like, this is kind of like clean out the kitchen pork loin. But I had some celery. I'm going to put some celery in here. Now the other aromatics that I have here, I mean, I have some sweet peppers or there's some smaller, they're almost like bell peppers, but they're a lot sweeter. So I'm gonna put those in, but I'm gonna wait until I put my pork loin in and put these on top, okay? And then we're also gonna add some Granny Smith apples. I use the Granny Smiths because they're tart, so they go really well with the pork. And also, I think that they're gonna go really good with the marinade. But I'm gonna sear this off. We'll be right back in a few minutes. And you'll see me putting it in the pressure cooker and with everything else, okay? All right, guys, as you can see, I've already started getting a good sear in there. You see how it's nice and golden brown. Got a nice little char on it. So at this point, and you gotta do all 4 sides, okay? So at this point, I'm gonna turn off my Copper Chef Pro here, and I'm gonna transfer this over to the pressure cooker. I'm gonna get it out of the way here. Just simply put it in. All right, and then I'll show you here what else I'm gonna put into it, okay? All right, BFM, as you can see, you're getting probably a pretty good picture of inside the crock pot, or inside the pressure cooker. I don't know why I keep saying crock pot, I'm so used to it. But you're probably getting a pretty good picture of that. But we're gonna add now, I'm gonna add in my sweet peppers here. I got quite a bit of them, so it should be nice and flavorful. All right, and then the next thing I'm gonna add is my apples, okay? So as you can see, we're just simply putting it in there, and we're gonna add my apples here next. Guys, so I have 2 Granny Smith apples here. I'm just gonna simply cut them up. And I'm gonna add just a little bit of Himalayan sea salt there. We're gonna add our just regular black pepper here. This is really just seasoning the apples and the peppers that I have in here. And you can never go wrong with a little bit of garlic. I have garlic in there as well in the marinade, so I'm gonna add a pretty big, this is probably 2 tablespoons of garlic, okay? And then I'm just gonna simply add, at this point it's gonna be about 2 cups of just regular chicken broth, okay? It's about 2 cups right there. And then I'm gonna add back in some of the marinade, okay? I'm not gonna use it all, but I'm gonna use a little bit of it. There we go, just enough. All right, and then I want to get to the front of this so you can see exactly what I do here. But at this point, all we're gonna do is place the top on the pressure cooker. And if you want to know how this actually really works, go ahead and watch. I told you about the cap here, the pressure cap, in one of my other videos, so you can go back and look at that, okay? Just gonna turn it, lock it in place. I'm gonna line up the little arrow with the line here. And then we're gonna put this on for 20 minutes, okay? I'm gonna come back and check it probably in about, I would say probably in about 15 minutes. But then at that point, I'm gonna add some of my carrots to it, okay? Because carrots only take about between 5 and 7 minutes to cook. But we're gonna start this here. Turn it off, turn it back on. And I'm gonna move this to the highest setting. And then I'm gonna increment it down, okay? I'm gonna give it 20 minutes, but I'm gonna come back and check it in about 15, add my carrots, then I'll turn it back on for another 7 or 8 minutes, okay? So you're gonna see the lines going around here, and then it'll start the time of 20 minutes, all right? So in a few minutes, I'll be right back, and I'll put the carrots in, and then we'll take it from there. All right, we're back. So I've let the pressure off of it, guys, and I'm just gonna add some carrots in here. I'm gonna plate this up when it's done with a couple other sides, but the carrots are gonna go in the pressure cooker. They only take about 6 minutes to get done, sometimes 8 minutes, depending on how big the carrots are. We're just gonna put that right on top. No seasoning. I always say season your vegetables, but this has got a marinade in it that is definitely enough to get that seasoned. But in any case, we're gonna put the lid back on. We're gonna do this probably only for about, I'm gonna put it on for 15 minutes, but I'm gonna come back and I'm going to check it in about 6 or 7 minutes, maybe 8 minutes. The carrots will be nice and tender, but to do that, I'm just gonna line the pressure valve up again. And then I'm just gonna simply hit meat and chicken and meat again, and change the cook time to 1 hour, but then I'm gonna increment it down to 15 minutes. Again, you're gonna see it go around and around. And I'll be back in 7 or 8 minutes, and we'll get the pork roast out, okay? BF fam, another perfection on the plate. We got our apricot and apple pork loin, some carrots, some Parmesan baked potatoes, and some Brussels sprouts. All right, guys, if you like this recipe, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the video. And also share it. That's the only way that we can get popular, and we do appreciate that. You can always hashtag this with hashtag Beats and Feast, okay? If there's anything at all you want to see me make on this channel, just go ahead and leave the comment below, and I'll try to do my best to do it. And I'm going to answer to all of your comments, okay? This is Big Tone coming from Beats and Feast. Peace.